About May time of 2024, I secured a photography assistant job for Aston Villa football team shoot. If you don't know what Aston Villa is, it's a football team, not soccer team, right, by the way, who play in the Premier League. The shoot was just a promo for the 2024/2025 season team kits. But anyway though guys, it was a huge shoot, so I got to network with such amazing fashion photographers and other creatives like that in this industry, and this is the shoot that really inspired me to pursue fashion photography for good. And in this video, I'm going to tell you what I learned. Hello everyone, my name is Joe, welcome to the Genius of Joe. Today guys, we'll be discussing an experience I had as a photography assistant on this massive football team shoot, or photo shoot, whatever you want to call it. You know, a place where I got to network with such amazing fashion photographers, and a place where I actually met one of my favourite fashion photographers, Holly McCandless Desmond. And I'm just going to tell you what I learned on this experience, and I hope you guys find this useful. But before we get into it guys, if you don't know me already, my name is Joe, of course. I'm a professional portrait photographer based in Birmingham, UK, and I strive to have other portrait photographers like yourself not only improve, but create distinctive and creatively fulfilling work. If that's interesting to you guys, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. And once I've gained your trust and you want more personal advice beyond these YouTube videos, top links in the description is my portrait photography school community, a place where you can network, grow and learn as a portrait photographer alongside other portrait photographers. And I will go on calls with all of you. I will discuss how I shot my most recent photo shoots, all that type of stuff, and also getting access to amazing courses that are worth a lot of money, but for a very cheap price of only $47 a month. So if that's interesting to you guys, top links in the description so you can check it out and learn more. I actually got this job because one of my friends, Tosh, who's actually the main cameraman who does all my BTS on my videos. So when you see cutaways to BTS on my photo shoots, that's him basically doing it. So shout out to him. I'll put links in the description below alongside all the other people that worked on this shoot, and you should definitely follow them. But long story short, there was 4 of us and we got split into groups, and me and one of my other friends were assigned to assisting this one fashion photographer who was shooting the 3rd kit for Aston Villa. And no, it wasn't just me and my friend and that fashion photographer, it was actually like 10 other people helping out. There was ADs, gaffers, technicians, set designers. Basically think of any responsibility for a job like this and assign at least 2 people to that role. But guess what though? It wasn't chaotic, it wasn't messy, it was surprisingly very organized and efficient. So that leads us to the first thing that I learned on this photo shoot, and that is the importance of teamwork. Yes, as a portrait/fashion photographer, I would 100% recommend working with a team on your photo shoots, because you will be surprised how many photo shoots aren't even possible without a team to execute it. Yes, you could potentially do everything by yourself, but you realize even having a small team of just a makeup artist and a stylist goes a long way. I've been able to collaborate and work with small teams on some of my most recent photo shoots, and I noticed the fucking difference. It just puts so much less stress on you as a portrait photographer, as now you can just focus on your technical side of your photo shoot and all the photography side to it, rather than having to constantly be fixated on, is the makeup good, is the styling good, but you can actually think of your lenses and your lighting and just think about that side. For example, on the Aston Villa shoot, the fashion photographer Brian, he would have had no chance if it wasn't for everyone's help and the other departments that were involved. That obviously your photo shoots aren't going to be on the Aston Villa level because they have unlimited money and you don't. But like I said earlier, a small team will suffice. Because if you want to take your portraits to the next level, you need to start considering everything in your photo and not just your gear and your lighting and the technical side to it. So having a small team of people helping you with those more underrated and neglected aspects of your photo shoot will instantly improve your work. And if you don't have access to a stylist or a makeup artist or anything like that, you need to start finding them. Cold message, cold DM on Instagram, asking for people to collab with you. Go out your way to find work, because that is the main way you're going to get work in this industry, is by reaching out and putting your name out there. Don't think as if the only way to get work is if you are just sitting there and other people having to jump at the opportunity to ask to work with you. Obviously you can get work in that way. I've gotten work with ways I've just been chilling and someone just DMs me or emails me, but for the most part I'm putting my name out there. I'm emailing them, I'm DMing them, I'm doing all the work, because that is what you're supposed to do as a portrait photographer. And if you have a team for your photo shoots, you notice that you can think on a much bigger scale for your photo shoot concepts, as now you have a team, it's much more doable. For example, with me, I did a World War II themed photo shoot back in October of 2024, and Guess what? I had a production designer or a costume designer, I had a makeup artist, I had people helping out those costume designers and makeup artists, right? It would have been impossible without those people. So take advantage of the fact that you have access to a team like this. Create those ambitious shoots and all that type of stuff on a massive scale, because you notice when you do that, you will inevitably grow as a portrait photographer, and it's a very similar scale of what it would be like if you were to work for these big brands like Aston Villa, for example. So you might as well start now. It will just make your work much more distinctive and more professional to other photographers on your level. So back to the photo shoot. This was probably the easiest payday of my life, right? Because everyone was doing everything for us, basically. Me and my friend were just sitting there doing nothing. But because I wasn't tasked to do anything, I definitely took advantage of that. So I decided to network with other people on the set, and also just looking closely in how the photographer works. I noticed for the entire photo shoot, the photographer, he shot at an aperture of f11 or f13. At the time, I've never seen this before, and I've only ever known to shoot portraits at like f2, at f4 maximum. So this definitely opened up a completely new experience and perspective for me. But it makes so much sense though, because you're shooting clothes, you want it to be as clear and as sharp as possible. And if you were going to shoot at like f2 or even f4, the whole outfit wouldn't be in focus. It will be kind of soft at certain points, because you may not notice that on the back of the screen, by the way. You may not think, wait, f2, what, f4? How are you going to notice that? You're not going to see that. On the back of the screen, on your camera screen, it may not look like some things are soft, but once you connect your camera with a tether cable to a monitor, those differences are very apparent. I actually remember in some of the shots, the photographer accidentally switched like f7.1 or f8, and the technician guy who was on the monitor seeing the photos, he was like, yo, those aren't sharp enough, right? Why is it on f7.1? Bump it up, right? You can see it kind of gets a bit blurry here and shit like that, right? Like, it shows that you have to be so precise with it, and you have to make sure everything is in focus and nothing is out of focus, like even by the slightest amount. Because if you want to print them out, if they want to print out these photos someday, then if it's printed out big, you're going to notice those differences, right? So yeah, you have to really get everything in focus. So maturing as a portrait photographer is knowing that you mainly want to shoot at those tighter apertures, even for portraits. And ever since then, for basically all of my studio portrait shoots, I've shot at those f8s and f11s. Even if I'm not trying to show off clothing, I'm still doing that because I want my whole model to be in focus and sharp. And you notice when you shoot at those tighter apertures, your photos are much sharper and nicer looking. I mean, for mid and close-up shots, I may switch to those wider apertures like f2, f2.8, f4, because I like to see some depth of field when you get closer up. But for those main full shots, and even for some mid and close-up shots, I'm shooting at f8, f11. Yes, that does mean that you need more powerful lights, as now, because you're shooting at those tighter apertures, you're letting in much less light into the sensor and into your photos. But even then, your lights don't have to be that powerful. For me, I use my small rig cob lights, which are about 200 watts or 220 watts for studio shoots, and I've been able to shoot at f8 or f11 and they're bright enough. And I'm not even shooting them at 100%. I'm using like 50% of it or 75% of the power. So yeah, I think, yeah, if you're going to use like a 60 watt light or something like that, that's not going to be powerful enough. But a 150 watt light, 100 watt light, even 120 watt light, that's going to be completely fine. And the lights that I have, they only cost around $250 to $300 or pounds. So I'll link those below, by the way, if you want to check them out. So yeah, guys, they were the main two takeaways that I got from this photo shoot. I mean, I learned a lot about the technical side to it, like what a Octa softbox is, or how to rig certain things on a C-stand and all that type of stuff. But I don't have a C-stand with me, so I can't exactly show you that part of it, but you know what I mean? But the main lesson that I've learned and that I've applied to all of my portrait work and my portrait work going forward is that portrait photography is not just about your photography, but it's also about your makeup, your set design, your props, your poses, your costume design, etc. Your work can only go so far if you're only fixated on your technical side to your portrait photography. Guys, by all means, I don't mean as in like be your own makeup artist, do the makeup, make your own outfit or anything like that if you're a stylist or anything like that, right? What I mean is in work with the model or work with the team with what you want from them. Like, what type of makeup do you want? What type of hairstyle do you want? What type of set do you want? Work with them on that, and then go from there. Obviously, of course, still think about the technical side to your portrait photography, like your gear, what lenses you're going to use, what camera you're going to use, all that type of stuff. I'm not saying that that's not important at all. You only have to think about your makeup and your costume. No, I'm not saying that. You still have to think about your lenses and your gear, what you're going to use, but you just need to focus on everything. I'm not saying think of everything, not just your technical side, but to that side too, the more neglective stuff as well. But again, still think about the lighting, because obviously your photos aren't going to be good if your lighting is shit, for example. So even then though, guys, I've seen fucking photos where like I've seen photos where like the outfit is really cool and crazy looking and what the fuck is this? It's insane. But the photos are kind of shit. I mean, they look kind of shit, the grade's kind of shit, the lighting's kind of shit, but like overall it's still kind of cool because of those other aspects were good. But still, make sure everything is good in the photo to make it feel complete. Anyway guys, that is it for the video. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys found this video useful, and I hope I gave you a new insight into how you can approach your next photo shoot. Maybe consider networking and finding a team to work with, like a makeup artist or a stylist, or maybe even start shooting at those tighter apertures in your portrait shoots. Because if you do, your work will instantly improve and your work will actually start to stand out to other portrait photographers on your level. So there's no harm in doing it, so just do it. But guys, like I said in my intro, top links in the description is my portrait photography school community, where again guys, you get to network with other portrait photographers, go on calls and personal calls with me on how you can improve your portrait work, look over how I shoot my work, ask me any questions on that type of stuff. Have access to amazing courses like my Build Your Portfolio course, where I'll tell you how to build your portfolio from the ground up. My lighting course, all this type of stuff is on there. Things that are worth hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, but it's only it's only valued or priced at $47 a month. I'm planning on growing this community so much and adding so much more value to it as time goes on, without actually upping the price or trying not to up the price that much. Right? So guys, if that's interesting to you guys, want to network with other people, all that type of stuff, talk to me about your portrait work, top links in the description so we can check it out and learn more. And also guys, don't forget to check out my free masterclass on how to find models to shoot with. So I will tell you how to network and photograph models so you can start building your portfolio the right way. So if that's interesting to you guys, that also is linked below. Check it out and learn more. Anyway guys, that is it. It's fucking freezing out here. It's really foggy. It's Boxing Day too, filming the next day after Christmas, of course, because I'm a grinder, you know what I mean? Anyway, click on any of these videos here to learn more portrait photography, and I'll see you next time guys. Goodbye.